Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story about a bunch of inmates that were secretly used as lab rats and they didn't even know it. Stay tuned to the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the...
Dang, we having hamburgers again? We just had hamburgers like 2 days ago. And we had steak the other night. Yo, they must have got a new budget. This shit tastes funny though, but I'm full as hell, man. How about, yo, look at this shit. Look how thick this hamburger is. Juicy as hell, god dang. But like I said, it tastes like shit. Damn. What up, what up, what up? We are back on my Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, now, listen up, people. I want y'all to listen very closely to what I'm about to say. This story is more like a third-party story. So, I know one of the participants, but I definitely was not there for the events that are going to take part in this story. Now, due to certain legal activity, I cannot put the name of the prison in the video. I can tell y'all my boy Rick, that's my boy's name. And I can tell you my boy Rick did time in Texas. And that's about as close to it as I want to get. Now, and I did time with Rick out in Jersey as well. That's where I actually met Rick and got this story. So, let's take it back to that prison in Texas. Rick was doing time there, and it was a period where he said that place was one of the best, or at least at the time that he thought, one of the best places to eat. What you mean by that? Most cafeterias that you go to in most prisons are garbage. The food is trash, it's all generic, the coffee's trash, everything's trash. But he said this spot in Texas actually had some pretty good portions. Now, sometimes people, and you gotta understand where an inmate is coming from. Sometimes you will give up taste for portion. So the fact that the food might be nasty as hell, but the fact that they're giving you a big portion of it means everything. That means you know you're going to get full if you eat this food. Whether it tastes good or not is another story. But to survive the night, you're going to eat whatever's on this tray. Now, an inmate is never going to complain about getting too much food, whether they like it or not. They're going to walk away with that plate and sit down and maybe even think that they made a mistake and gave them a double portion. But then you look around and see everybody else got the same thing. So they must just got a good budget here in Texas. This is the best prison I ever been to. Damn, look at all this meat they giving us. I mean, this is like a whole steak. Damn, this is a big ass hamburger. Yeah. Now, Rick said they was feeding them like that for about, say, 2 months. Just giving them, they went from small portions to all of a sudden the next day, these humongous portions on their plates. And it seemed to be only a section of that prison, y'all. A section where they housed a lot of the, let's say, violent inmates. The unalivers and people of that sort. The people that like to get down, push that blade, or pop that blicky. So, this must have been probably all of their first time in prison, for them not to notice that something wasn't right. Now, I gotta admit, the food in prison doesn't taste good, but it does taste like something. Almost everyone that was a part of this section that was getting fed good, let's say, said the food tastes like nothing. Tastes like water. Tasteless. They just know they got full. And Everybody just kept on eating, kept on eating. Now, it was rumors going around the prison that they giving y'all some crazy shit, man, because everybody else was still getting regular portions. Rick said supposedly everybody else was telling them they still getting little portions. And they like, nah, man, our whole tray be full, man. Like, the whole tray be full. And they want you to eat it all. It's like boot camp. They tell you don't take what you can't eat. And they get mad if you waste it. So you're like, damn, man, yeah, I don't know, man. They might be giving y'all some poison or something, man. And, you know, that's cats talking through the yard, through the gate. I don't know, something don't sound right about that, man. I holler at you, man. I holler at you. You're like, all right. And now, Rick said he started to notice something was wrong when he go to work out and he not breathing right. He like, damn, I don't never get winded from a few sets. I normally throw up like 300 easy. And he said he did a few sets and got winded like, He went back to his cell to lay down. And then he started to think to himself, what changed? And the only thing changed was his diet. Because he had been working out the whole time he was there, non-stop. And he was like a monster. He could do 30, 40, 50 reps in a row. Maybe take a break for a quick water drink real quick and back to it. Bow, bow, bow. Well, Rick decided to do the smart thing. Without telling anybody, he just started hanging back in his cell. He ain't go to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Now, luckily, Rick had commissary. He wasn't broke in there, so he was able to make himself a soup or a hookup whenever he wanted to. He was being more healthier eating ramen noodles with all that sodium than eating whatever the hell they was feeding him. Now, slowly, Rick said he started to get his stamina back. He started to be able to do his reps again. And things started to go back to normal for him. He still felt a little weird at times, but he said for the most part, he was back to normal in about, say, 2 weeks. Now, as for the rest of the inmates that continued to eat those huge portions, various things started to happen to them, y'all. Some of them started having red stuff dripping out their nose and their ears and their eyes. A lot of them started to have bad stomach pains. Yeah. Now, people, this is the kicker. At one point in time, it seemed like everybody just started getting sick and throwing up. Rick said it was so bad, people couldn't make it to their cells or get to the bathroom to throw up. They was letting it go right in the day room on the floor, y'all. Imagine that. A whole bunch of sick people locked up together, just spreading the disease all in the air. Smell the aroma in the air. It's like some fresh lit. Boom. Yeah. That's louder than loud. Now, Rick, he knew while everybody was getting sick, that was his best chance of getting up out of that pod. So the only way possible was to get kicked out, meaning he had to take off on somebody. So he just found the nearest person that he saw that he could go and chip up real quick, and he beat him up bad to the point where, you know, he did it right there in front of the desk where they could see him, where they had to come in there with the turtle squad, put him down on his knees, cuff him up, hog tie him, and they escorted him back to the hole. And once you go back to the hole, they're not bringing you them portions that you was getting in that pod. You're going to get a regular portion. So they start bringing him real food again. Excuse me. Now, even though Rick ended up doing 6 more months in the hole of dead time, at least he was getting real food. He might have got a little bit more jail time or prison time to do, but at least he was getting real food and he wasn't being a guinea pig anymore. Because now, as these inmates continued to get sick and nobody really knew what was going on besides Rick, who was spreading the word slowly to inmates that he knew and trusted. But even Rick didn't really know what was going on, because not too long after Rick got out of that pod, rumors started circulating in and outside of the prison. It was reported that the prison had strong ties to a race company, a horse racing company, y'all. How mysterious. And it was also reported there was some sales over exhausted horses. Now, y'all might not know what that means. That means when a horse breaks his hoof or can't run no more, gets too old and can't run and win races anymore. The things that they do with these animals are unthinkable, y'all. And PETA should also definitely have looked into this issue if they haven't. But when these racehorse owners decide that their horse is no longer a liability to them, they decide to make a side deal with different people. Some people might take a horse like that and just ride him. He's still good for riding and he can walk around on the grass and all that. He just can't run and race. He's too old for that. Some people might take him as pets for their younger children. And that's all good. Why not? But some people, y'all, some people have more diabolical plans, as such as a prison. What the hell would a prison want with a bunch of old horses? Y'all get in the comment box and y'all tell me, have y'all ever heard of anything like this before? Well, I'll tell you exactly what was found out, because after all those inmates got sick, the feds start snooping around. Yeah, the CDC starts snooping around to find out what was going on. Was it airborne? Is it in the food? What's going on? They start to testing everything, y'all. And it was conclusive that these inmates was being fed horse meat, y'all. Yep. Food packaged labels say not for human consumption is what they was giving these inmates, y'all. Horse meat. And various other animals. So, when people say you never know what you're eating, oh, that hits it right on the nail. Because in prison, you never know what you're eating. That's right. That label that says not for human consumption will easily be removed and prepared for you. And you're going to love it. You're going to put some Lorry salt on it, and you're going to love it. Yep. Now, this is why I'm telling all you YNs that can't stay out of prison. If you can't stay out of prison, just stay out of the cafeteria. Buy your commissary and make your own hookups. Because let me tell you, people, not only is the cafeteria diabolical itself, you might just find mold floating in your tray. But you don't know what that inmate back there is doing with his hands before he decides to mix up your salad. Pause. So think about it, YNs. Stay your ass out of prison or stay out the cafeteria. Either one. Now to finish this story up, Rick said a few of those inmates did make it, straight up passed away to complications due to something going on inside of their stomachs that wasn't explained. And other inmates, well, let's just say they all ended up fighting off, I guess you could call it, stomach diseases. Now, at one point, it was said that the FBI came in and escorted a doctor out of the prison. And when he came in, when they escorted him out, rather, they found his clipboard. He had information on all of the inmates, all of his subjects, his test subjects. And he was writing down their symptoms because he had been given different batches of meat. And when they tested the meat that they found, y'all, they found some fresh, meaning not sour and out of cold, but then they found some rancid meat. Now, supposedly, this doctor was bleaching the rancid meat and injecting it with some kind of hormones and letting it sit in a refrigerator until it puffed back up. And with the bleach, it looked like a slice of turkey or something. You wouldn't know the difference, I guess. And they plopped that right on the plate. And now, the notes would suggest that the test was to see if they could use expired horses after they're dead and gone to feed inmates. They could possibly turn a buck on those horses. One horse could produce at least 500 pounds of pure meat that they could bleach and save for months to feed these inmates. And now that would essentially save the state money. But this was not a state-funded program. This was like some behind-the-scenes Cobra Commander type shit. Yeah, Hail Hydra. They in there on their own trying to make America great again. And, well, let alone the fact that they unalived a couple of inmates during this test. They just got caught red-handed, pretty much poisoning inmates. So the amount of lawsuits that this state is going to have on their hands for letting this treachery go down, oh, it's crazy. They don't want no smoke, but they about to get some smoke. They about to get all the smoke. Yeah, you just wait. So it ended up being a whole big thing. Officers got charged, the doctor got charged, nurses got charged. Even the warden himself, they tried to bring charges up against him for letting it go on under his nose because he claimed to have no knowledge of anything going on in that pod. It was crazy. And that's just how that ended up. So, Rick, he ended up getting out of there. Eventually, he did his time and he went home. Excuse me, y'all. And he moved to New Jersey. And Rick, I guess, is just a criminal, y'all. He couldn't help himself, and he ended up in prison with me. So, that's how I met Rick, and that was Rick's story. It's pretty crazy. With time, he said those inmates got better. It took months because their health deteriorated at very fast, rapid rates. Eating horse meat, y'all. No protein. Everything's stripped out of it. Bleached, rancid meat is what they giving you. Just as tests to see what parasites will destroy your stomach. See if you can handle it or not. See if everybody can handle it or not. They had planned on serving that meat to the whole prison if these inmates had survived. If nobody got sick, everybody in the prison was going to get that nasty work. Yeah, just to save the state a couple of dollars. And y'all act like those inmates want to be there. So you damn right y'all better feed them. And y'all better feed them some real consumable food. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all do not hear me. You can't just let these people do what they want. They will use you as a test stunt dummy in a heartbeat. So don't be the next one. Don't be the next one being the guinea pig for these prisons. Just eat your own commissary. Buy your own soups. Don't eat nothing these people give you. Yeah, let them call it a hunger strike. Let them say what they want to. Tell them bring you bread and water. That's all you want. Man up. Because this is prison. And prison ain't for the faint. Oh no, prison is not for the weak. So, if you scared to go to prison, then be scared to do that crime. Alright, y'all, look. I'm going to wrap this one up early. That's going to be it. I really hope you like and got something out of the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hype the video so somebody else that needs to hear this can. Alright, y'all. With that, I'm going to get on up out of here. This was the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and I'm out.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boys' stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When